Are you getting paid for the risk you take? You've probably heard that higher returns come with higher risk. But how do you know if you're actually being rewarded for the risk you're taking on? That's where the Sharpe ratio comes in. Today, we'll break down what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to make more informed investment decisions. My name is Matt Maresh, your host, and welcome to Retirement Ready Nation, where we turn retirement jargon into plain English and strategy into peace of mind. The Sharpe ratio measures how much return you're getting per unit of risk. It answers a crucial question. Am I getting enough reward for the amount of risk I'm taking? It's named after Nobel Prize-winning economist William F. Sharpe and one of the most widely used tools in professional investment analysis. If two investments have the same return, but one is much more volatile, the safer one is generally preferred. The Sharpe ratio quantifies that preference so you're not just chasing higher returns blindly. How is the Sharpe ratio calculated? There's nothing more on this channel than we love than a good mathematical formula. So the Sharpe ratio is as follows. Investment return minus the risk-free rate divided by the standard deviation. Breaking it down. Investment return, how much you earned. Risk-free rate, what you could have earned with a super safe investment like a treasury bill. Standard deviation represents the investment's volatility or how bumpy the ride was. So if you have two funds with the same return, but one has less volatility, it will have a higher Sharpe ratio, which is a good thing. How to interpret it? Here's a general rule of thumb. Sharpe ratios greater than 1.0 are good. Sharpe ratios greater than 2.0, very good. Sharpe ratios greater than 3.0, excellent. Below 1.0, you're taking on risk, but you're not getting much return in exchange for that risk. The Sharpe ratio doesn't tell you if an investment is safe, just whether its returns are efficient compared to the volatility. Let's walk through a real-world example with two funds with the same return. Fund A has a return of 10% and a volatility of 15%. Fund B has the same return of 10%, but with a lower volatility of 10%. Here are the Sharpe ratios. Fund A's Sharpe ratio is 0.47. Fund B Sharpe ratio is 0.7. Let's walk through the Sharpe ratio calculations. Fund A, 10% return minus the 3% risk-free rate divided by the standard deviation of 15% equals 0.47. Fund B, same return of 10% minus the same risk-free rate of 3% divided by the standard deviation of 10% equals 0.7. Even though both funds have the same return, Fund B is probably the better choice because it provides better risk-adjusted returns with less volatility. Why does this matter? If you're investing for retirement, for example, you want a portfolio that balances growth with stability. The Sharpe ratio helps cut through flashy numbers and focuses on what truly matters, risk-adjusted performance. For retirees or pre-retirees, if you're nearing retirement, lower volatility becomes more important. So comparing Sharpe ratios can help guide investment decisions. If you still have decades ahead, you might tolerate higher risk, lower Sharpe ratios, in pursuit of higher long-term growth. For retirees and pre-retirees, if you're nearing retirement, lowering volatility becomes more important. So comparing Sharpe ratios can help you guide in investment decisions. Where can you find the Sharpe ratio? If you're looking for sources to find the Sharpe ratio, you've got a few solid options. Your investment professional can provide specialized research tailored to your specific investments you are considering. Fund fact sheets usually outlay key details like performance, holdings, and risk metrics such as Sharpe ratio. The Sharpe ratio helps you compare investments more efficiently. Let's say that you have two funds with the same return with relatively the same composition. You may look to the Sharpe ratio as the tiebreaker in deciding which one goes into your portfolio and which one does not. It won't make investment decisions for you, but it's a valuable tool for focusing on efficient returns. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like and subscribe to Retirement Ready Nation today. Want me to break down another investment topic? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. This channel is for information purposes only. It should not be construed as tax, legal, or actuarial advice. Ashbury Boutique Wealth Management and the Leaders Group do not replace those professionals.